stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The government's pandemic task force has allowed local government units to relax quarantine restrictions for the purposes of tourism and disaster response. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque said that age restrictions for those below 15 years old and those who are over 65 under the modified general quarantine areas who are traveling for tourism purposes may be relaxed upon the determination of the LGUs. The Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases has tasked the Department of Tourism, the Department of Health, and the Department of Interior and Local Government to come up with the guidelines for tourism. The IATF likewise instructed LGUs to relax entry protocols such as test upon arrival requirements imposed upon airline crew layovers and positioning due to emergency situations which include typhoons, volcanic activities, diversions, and emergency landings and other similar unforeseen and time-sensitive evacuations. Airline crew members are also permitted to temporarily billet in accommodation establishments under a bubble concept supervised by the LGUs. According to Roque, the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority is authorized to set up a corporate jet flight maintenance and crew layover hub at the Subic Special Economic and Freeport Zone under a strict bubble concept. 6 out of 10 Filipino adults have expressed their willingness to get vaccinated now if the vaccine against the coronavirus disease is already available. The social weather station said its national mobile phone survey conducted on September 17 to 20 showed that 66% of adult Filipinos are willing to get the COVID-19 vaccine if it is already available. The SWS noted that this includes 32% who indicated that they would definitely get the vaccine and 34% who indicated that they probably would get the vaccine. The survey also showed that there are 31% who are unwilling to get vaccinated, including 14% who indicated that they would not get the vaccine and 17% who definitely would not get the vaccine. The SWS said the survey that was conducted was a probability-based survey conducted using mobile phone and computer-assisted telephone interviewing. There were about 1,249 adult Filipinos ages 18 years old and above who participated in the nationwide survey. Vice President Leni Robredo defended her two daughters for their tweets that went viral. Robredo said she has always been proud of her daughters for their hard work and accomplishments and that she taught them to stand up for what they believe in. Our news correspondent Raymart Antonio has this report.
Vice President Leni Robredo backed two of her daughters whose tweets related to the government's typhoon response were criticized by presidential spokesman Harry Roque by saying that she trained them to stand up for what they believe in. Roque took offense at the tweet exchange by Robredo's daughters Aika and Tricia, citing it as among the reasons for President Duterte's lengthy tirade against the Vice President on Tuesday night. In a Facebook post, Robredo said she has always been proud of her daughters for their hard work and accomplishments. Roque presented the Twitter post made by the Robredo sisters during a televised media briefing. The tweets did not mention a name or use the hashtag Nasa ng Pangulo tag that has drawn Duterte's ire. In a tweet, Vice Presidential spokesman Barry Gutierrez asked Malacanang why it chose to spend time on this when there's still a lot of work to do in the aftermath of Ulysses. Gutierrez said the typhoon killed at least 69 people, displaced 325,000 residents, and left over 1.5 billion in damage. For MB Now, this is Raymart Antonio reporting.
Vice President Leni Robredo denied accusations of being in a relationship with anyone as she addressed once more the long-standing rumor about her personal life that resurfaced after President Duterte's latest tirade against her. In a Facebook post on Thursday night, Robredo said that a party mate handling her political affairs and a gay friend have been romantically linked to her, both of which she denied. Robredo showed a post of a netizen who alleged her supposed relationships. This person happens to be a supporter of Duterte who recently asked about her whereabouts whenever she supposedly comes home late. The vice president went on to mention a person who works in her office and goes with her team during her political engagements. Robredo did not mention his name, but the person has been rumored to be former Quezon City Representative George Bolet Banal, her party mate in the opposition Liberal Party, of which she is the chairman. Robredo said her detractors have hurled accusations against her when they can no longer make valid arguments. She hoped they would spare her party mate's family from insults because they have helped her or in her development programs. The Department of Information and Communications Technology wants to impose fines of up to 2 million pesos per day for telecommunications companies and service providers that will fail to deliver their advertised internet speeds. During the Senate's plenary debates on the proposed 2021 budget of the DICT Friday, Senator Grace Paul raised that some companies tend to offer promising internet speeds but do not actually deliver on their promise. The sponsor of the DICT budget, Senator Panfilo Lacson, said the government at present only imposes a fine of 200 pesos per day for any violation of the terms and conditions of public service. This was provided under Section 21 of the Public Services Act, which was signed in 1936.
Yes, we have to amend the law, the Public Service Act, Mr. President, because the Public Service Act specifically mentions or states 200 pesos per day. So if we want to compel the telcos and impose heavier fines or penalties, then we will have to amend that particular provision, among others, Mr. President.
The University of the Philippines Diliman on Friday said that it will continue to defend the institution's time-honored traditions of academic freedom and critical thinking. This as they denounced threats to defund the institution amid red tagging and claims of recruiting communist insurgents. UP Diliman Chancellor Fidel Nemenzo made this response to threats made by President Duterte of pulling out funds of the UP system as it only recruits communists after state scholars criticized the government's disaster response. Nemenzo argued that those accusing UP of recruiting communists also seem to forget that the university has bred more scientists, artists, doctors, lawyers, diplomats, and civil servants. He also called UP a safe haven for civilized and intelligent discourse, which has no place for intolerance, bigotry, as well as red tagging, which he said is dangerous as it focuses on labels over substance and encourages intimidation and violence. Nemenzo added that the university administration will also continue to explore ways to address recurring and emerging concerns and respond to the different needs and circumstances of the faculty and the students. In Metro News, 12 barangays declared drug cleared. Mayor Vico urges evacuees to avail of free COVID-19 tests. And 17 Chinese nationals nabbed for violating curfew in Makati City. More from this report.
12 barangays in the city of Manila were declared drug cleared by the Manila Police District and Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso on Thursday signed certificates for the drug cleared barangays. Dumagoso congratulated residents and barangay officials of the said barangays and vowed to continue ridding the city of illegal drugs. He appealed to the Manileños to continuously be vigilant for the sake of every families and the community. Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto urged residents who have evacuated during the onslaught of Typhoon Ulysses to voluntarily take the free coronavirus antibody testing of the local government. Mayor Soto underscored the importance of undertaking such tests, saying that doing so is to avoid the possible transmission of disease in the community. The local government has taken the initiative to conduct enhanced chemiluminescence immunosci or ECLIA testing to evacuees of the recent typhoon as a measure to ensure the safety of residents and prevent the further spread of COVID-19. Around 10,000 city residents, mostly from flood-prone areas in Pasig, have taken shelter in evacuation centers prepared by the local government. 17 Chinese nationals were apprehended inside a bar in Makati City for violating the curfew imposed by the local government to protect the public from the dreaded COVID-19. Major Tyrone Valenzona, Makati Police Assistant Chief of Police for Operations, said the foreigners were drinking inside the Xiaolong Khan Resto Bar located in Barangay Pio del Pilar, Makati at around 12:30 in the morning. The Makati Police Investigation Unit also said the foreigners were also not observing physical distancing inside the bar. The Makati Public Safety Department issued 1,000 peso citation tickets to each of the arrested foreigners.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. AFP sends engineers to Cagayan. No need for elderly to join organizations to avail of social pension according to DSWD in Western Visayas. And Davao City placed under GCQ anew. More from this report.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines Northern Luzon Command ordered on Thursday the deployment of military engineers to help the people of Region 2. The move was in compliance with President Duterte's order to use all available assets to help in the relief and recovery efforts in Cagayan Valley. The military engineers will be working in close coordination with the Emergency Operations Center of Cagayan Valley's Office of Civil Defense as well as the governors of Cagayan and Isabela through their Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office. The Western Visayas Regional Office of the Department of Social Welfare and Development has clarified that the elderly need not join organizations to be entitled to social pension. The supposed additional requirement was raised by some of the elderly to DSWD in the region who were beneficiaries of social pension program of indigent senior citizens. Eligible senior citizens are those who are 60 years old and above and are frail or sickly and have no financial support from family and do not receive any pension at all. Meanwhile, DSWD in the region has released more than 72% of the social pension of the 365,908 beneficiaries across the region, or an equivalent of 933.3 million pesos. Each elderly is entitled to 6,000 cash aid per year. Davao City has been placed under General Community Quarantine or GCQ effective immediately until November 30 following the recent surge in the number of coronavirus disease cases. According to COVID-19 National Task Force Chief Implementer Carlito Galvez Jr., there has been a 63% increase in the number of COVID-19 cases in the city in just a week. On Thursday night, Mayor Sara Duterte released a statement saying the city will abide by the order of the Interagency Task Force should it decide that Davao City needed to be placed under stricter quarantine.
In world news, frontrunner vaccine possible to roll out next month, according to BioNtech CEO. Robot reminds shoppers to wear masks in Japan. And world's highest outdoor lift zips tourists up China's Avatar Cliff. Let's watch this report.
Before the year is over, the front-runner COVID-19 vaccine could be rolled out in the United States and Europe, according to BioNtech co-founder Ugur Sahin. The BioNtech Pfizer shot and another one being developed by U.S. firm Moderna have taken the lead in the global chase for a vaccine, after a large-scale trial data this month showed that their jabs were around 95% effective against COVID-19. The U.S., the European Union, and a slew of other nations have already placed orders for hundreds of millions of doses of the top vaccine candidates in development. Health workers, carers, and people considered at high risk for severe COVID-19 are set to be the first line for the jabs. The price of the BioNtech Pfizer vaccine is expected to be around $20 per dose, with a booster shot to be taken 28 days after the first. The robot nicknamed Robovi has been deployed at a sports store in the city of Osaka in an experiment by Kyoto-based Research Institute ATR, which built the electronic clerk. Its camera and laser scanner can detect when people are not wearing a mask or standing too close together in a queue, in which case it asks them to move apart. As well as enforcing social distancing, Robovi can direct customers to the part of the store they want to go to, according to ATR. Japan has had a comparatively small coronavirus outbreak overall, although cases are rising with a record of 2,201 infections recorded nationwide. Towering more than 1,000 feet off the cliff face that inspired the landscape for the blockbuster movie Avatar, the world's highest outdoor lift whisked brave tourists to breathtaking views. The 3 double-decker elevators in central China's Changjiajie Forest Park zip up the cliff in just 88 seconds. A speedy attraction as domestic tourism slowly recovers in China after the coronavirus forced strict travel measures and lockdowns earlier this year. Around 8,000 tourists take the lift every day. The ticket price is $19 per person.
In entertainment, looks like it won't be a happy Christmas for actor Raymart Santiago, with their estranged wife Claudine Barretto's lawyer making public their plan to sue him for supposedly neglecting agreed child support. Barretto's complaint against Santiago include his alleged violation of the Violence Against Women and Their Children Act or Republic Act 9262 and economic abuse. According to Barretto's legal counsel, attorney Ferdinand Topacio, Santiago failed to send money for child support for some time now, worth 100,000 pesos per month. It was also revealed that Barretto is also mulling filing a complaint against actress Jody Santa Maria for engaging in romantic relations with Santiago. But attorney Topacio hopes all will be settled at a meeting set at the Marikina City Prosecutor's Office on December 10. Barretto and Santiago married twice, in 2004 and 2006, but separated in 2013. Barretto and Santiago have a biological son, Santino, and 2 adopted children, Sabina and Kia. In sports, the oldest collegiate league in the country has a new home. After thorough deliberations, the NCAA Policy Board has decided to give GMA7 the broadcasting rights starting with the current 96th season set to start either February or March of next year. The partnership between the NCAA and GMA7 is expected to be a 5-year deal with a highlight on this league's 100th year in 2024 to 25. The league pushed back its season opener to 2021 due to the novel coronavirus pandemic, and with only 4 traditional sports, namely basketball, volleyball, swimming, and athletics. The broadcast company is expected to carry the games on its GMA News channel during the elimination games of basketball, while the playoffs will be shown on the network's main channel, which is GMA7. The NCAA 96 will be hosted by the Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Speaking of the NCAA 96 host, the Colegio de San Juan de Letran is set to celebrate its quadricentennial year this month. However, given the restrictions due to the pandemic and the onslaught of typhoons Rolly and Ulysses, the Colegio decided to forego its initial plan of virtual celebration and focus instead on relief efforts for the typhoon victims. Online benefit concert will also take place to raise additional funds for the typhoon victims. But despite the postponement of a grand celebration, current and former students and employees of Letran cannot help but reminisce their stay in the Colegio. Posts of Colegio life flooded social media sites where many share their fondest memories during their stay in the Colegio. Letran is the only educational institution still left standing within the walls of Intramuros since its foundation in the year 1620. It has then produced a significant number of respectable and notable alumni in different fields such as politics, business, media, advertising, and publishing. The Colegio plans to move its grand quadricentennial celebration to November 2021. And those are the news on web today, November 20, 2020. It's 35 days before Christmas. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph Or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Join us again on Monday. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.